I'm Jacob, and the day I told my family in the chat that I had just buried my wife Emma and would be flying home with our daughter Lily at 5 was one of the hardest and most surreal moments of my life. Not just because of the grief I carried, but because of the sudden weight of responsibility that fell on my shoulders. Emma had passed unexpectedly after a short illness, leaving Lily and me to navigate a world that felt painfully empty without her presence. The funeral had been quiet, intimate, and filled with the kind of grief that makes the heart ache in ways you didn't know were possible. After the service, as I stood beside Lily, holding her small hand in mine, I realized that the logistics of returning home were unavoidable. I had to contact family, arrange flights, and think about how we would manage life in the immediate days ahead. I typed a simple message into the family chat, my fingers trembling slightly as I composed it. I just buried Emma. I'll be flying home with Lily at 5. The words felt inadequate, almost unreal, but they were the only way to convey the situation to the people I loved and trusted. Almost immediately, messages began to pour in. Margaret, my mother, expressing heartbreak and concern. Thomas, my father, offering support and logistical help. And Sarah, my sister, sending virtual hugs and assurances that she would be there for us when we arrived. I appreciated the warmth and the love, but each notification also reminded me of how fragile life can be, how quickly the people you rely on can be gone, and how the responsibilities of parenthood do not pause for grief. Lily, sitting quietly beside me with her small, solemn eyes, seemed to understand the gravity of the moment in a way that no words could express. I held her close, telling her that while Emma was no longer with us, we would always carry her memory in our hearts, in the stories we shared, and in the love that surrounded us. At the airport, the weight of the day hit me fully. The empty seat beside me on the plane, the unspoken grief of strangers around, and the small hands of Lily clutching mine tightly as we boarded. Every step felt like a test of endurance, also a demonstration of resilience, the kind that is born when loss demands action and strength beyond what you thought you possessed. During the flight, I reflected on the life Emma and I had built together. The quiet mornings sipping coffee, the laughter over small daily routines, the late-night conversations about dreams and fears. Losing her was a wound that could not be stitched over. But I also realized that I had a responsibility to Lily, to ensure that her world remained stable even as it was transformed by tragedy. I spoke to her gently, reminding her that she could ask questions, share her feelings, or just sit quietly as we navigated the journey home. She rested her head on my shoulder, and for a moment, the sorrow seemed to soften into something more manageable, a quiet acceptance of reality paired with the comfort of being together. Messages from family continued to arrive, words of encouragement and offers to assist with the transition, and I found solace in knowing that while Emma's absence was permanent, the love of family could provide a buffer against despair. By the time we landed, the sky was beginning to turn a soft evening hue, and the sight of my parents and sister waiting in the arrivals area brought a mixture of relief and renewed grief. They approached cautiously, understanding the delicacy of the moment, and enveloped Lily and me in embraces that were both comforting and grounding. I explained briefly to them about Emma, about her final days, and about the steps we needed to take next, knowing that this shared understanding would help anchor Lily in a world that suddenly felt unpredictable. The drive home was quiet, filled with moments of reflection and punctuated by small gestures of care for my family, reminding me that grief could be shared, lessened, and made more bearable when met with support and presence. That night, as I settled Lily into bed, telling her stories about her mother's favorite moments and smiling through tears, I realized that the chat message I had sent earlier was more than just information. It was a lifeline, a signal to the people who cared, and a first step in navigating life after loss. While the future remained uncertain and heavy with sorrow, I also recognized the power of family, communication, and presence in helping us move forward, carrying Emma's memory with dignity while embracing the responsibilities and love that remained.